Hey everyone, it's Tammy and this is another episode of Where's the Sun? These videos are designed to discuss the energies as the sun moves through the human design mandala. Each gate of the mandala has its own energy that we can tap into or pick up from others or use to our benefit or not, depending on how you use the energy. Anyway, this week, actually right now, the gate is in the first line, or the sun is in the first line of the gate 42. And 42, I don't know if it just doesn't pop up that much for me when I do readings for people. I know it's not in my chart. It's really not a gate that I've ever really went in depth about. But it's interesting because over the last week, I'd been struck down with an illness and I spent a lot of time at home in bed. Not so much reflecting or thinking or anything, but I actually had a very dear friend that I was going back and forth with most of the week that is really into human design, so it kind of brought back some of the stuff that I'd been working on before, which was really cool because I realized how far away from it I've gotten. But anyway, we talked about a lot of things. We're different types. We know people that are different types. We were trying to look at how certain people do things, how we should do something in particular, you know, and all those kinds of differences. And not even the gate 42 really came up in those conversations. So it was interesting to me when I went back to look at my notes of the gate 42 that the teachings on it are, to me, they seem quite different. Normally with all of the different teachers of human design or the books that are on the market, there's like a single thread that kind of weaves them together, and this is one of those gates that kind of pull that whole thread apart in a way, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm looking at two, that one is the 42 is called the Gate of Increase, which is its original understanding. And it has to do with energy coming back that you give out. So if you're being single-minded and you're only doing for yourself, what you get back to you isn't going to be as open, and the possibilities aren't going to be as big as if you were doing for others, and then that puts a different energy out into the universe and you get back things that benefit you, I want to say, in a way. Basically, you get back what you put out into the universe. So if you're putting out like selfishness and single-mindedness, that's what you're going to get back. If you put out all this information for others and, you know, you're doing for others, that's what you should get back. Which brings me to my own little thing where I'm always like, how come it doesn't seem like I'm getting back what I'm giving out? So I'm going to actually use this week to try and delve deeper into that. For the people that I have seen gain clarity and information from what I teach and then receive great rewards, what is it that we put in our own ways that when those rewards come to you that you just don't seem to be getting them? Or maybe you are getting them and we don't appreciate them. Who knows? So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. But anyway, the other definition of the 42 is finishing things. So things that you've started but you don't really have the energy to complete. Could be a relationship, could be cleaning the house, which I'm like, I don't know, sort of doing. Anything like that that needs to come to an end. This is the energy to wrap things up. If you're working on a project or a plan or an inspiration, this is the time to go from the middle of that thought process to the end. So those are the two different energies as described by my mentors. Like I said, I think the more interesting, anyway, to me and my investigative mind, is getting back what you put out and putting out what you, not what you want to get back, but I mean, you don't want to go out there and say, I'm going to do for so-and-so so I get this back, because that's not the way it really works. Well, it probably does work that way and you'll get something back, but it might not be exactly what you wanted. But maybe having a clear idea of what you want and then living your life around those ideas so that that's what you actually are working towards can be a huge one. Something that does come up in both of them is the frustration that happens when you're not living your I can't even think of the word. So let me think for a second, because that is ridiculous that word just flew right out of my head. Living your strategy, that's what we're talking about. So as you can see, I probably haven't been lately. I'm a generator, so that means I have to wait for something to respond to. I can also give people things to respond to, but I can't push. I used to be a really just do it, get out there and do it kind of gal, and at times it did work for me, but looking back, it's because I was responding to something. So if you are frustrated, look around and see if there's things that you're not responding to or that you're not looking at as chances to respond. I mean, it's as simple as when your alarm goes off in the morning, do you hit snooze or get up? That's a response. If somebody sends you a message, do you respond or not? That's a response. Other types have different strategies, such as the projector has to be invited into things. So don't invite yourself to go to lunch for your friends. Wait for your friends to say, hey, we're going to Taco Bell. Do you want to come? That kind of thing. Manifestors, depending on the type, can just do it. There are some situations where the chart will indicate if you have to kind of sit back and wait a second. And manifesting generators, you have the ability to manifest in response. So you can put an idea out there, like you can say, I want to go to the Bahamas on vacation, and then you get up tomorrow and check your mail and there's a coupon in there for a trip to the Bahamas. Then you decide whether or not you want to do it. You kind of already put it out there, it kind of came back to you. I kind of know what your answer would be, but you have to check with yourself and make sure you're doing what you should be doing in that time. Reflectors, you need a long time and a lot of information to make decisions. There aren't a lot of reflectors out there. I've only had a few clients that are actually reflectors, but if you are one and you need more information on that, you can get in touch with me. So I think this video has been very long for one that I didn't really feel like doing today, and I hope the information is helpful. Like I said, what I tend to do with human design is I take the information that was taught to me as a basis, and then I take in my experience with energy and universal life force, and I kind of mesh them together to come up with my own hybrid type of intuitive human design readings. It's not always just cut and dry. There's a lot of information that goes into even just one characteristic of somebody. So as always, if you have questions, comments, or concerns, you can get in touch with me on Facebook, my email, right in the comments. I'll try and do better at making sure I'm answering people's questions and comments. And have a great week. Bye.